Hey, Shay, we got to move on to these SEC bowl games. Right before we got on the show, this was when Mississippi State just got spanked. We hopped
Mm,
on literally moments after. Shane says he's getting fired up here, so I'm
mm.
dying to hear what he's got to say. But so why don't you just get into it? Because hell, I mean, I could throw stats at you, but let me just tell you, Mississippi State got spanked, and
Yeah.
Texas Tech, inferior team, just ran all over them, 34-7. I mean, it was disgraceful. What's on your mind there, Shane?
Every damn year, Mike, we talk about this in the bowl games and we make excuses for these SEC teams that, we got our opt outs and now you got COVID playing. We've got all this stuff. And it just felt like Mississippi State did not get off that bus and ready to play football today. It was
Mm.
absolutely embarrassing. It was mistake after drop pass I mean, they had opportunities to make this a ball game. They had opportunities, but I mean, even that little punt return. I mean, come on, special teams. What are we doing here? There's just so many things that went wrong there, and they just weren't ready to play. And I think to myself when I watch games like this, Mike, if this is week 3, we got a different game here. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi State
Right.
is beating the shit out of Texas Tech. It's gonna have. You can go ahead and retire the oil pump. It ain't coming out week 3. But in this bowl game, we had to watch it on the sideline because we got a team that just limped into this. All we kept hearing at the beginning is 10 people didn't make it to this game, mostly on defense. And guess who got beat up today? The defense. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that part of me is frustrating, and I'm like, how can we fix this, Mike? Well, I'm looking at this Liberty Bowl. Do you know how much money's on line at this game?
No idea.
5 million of 4.7 million dollars is being paid for these teams to play at this game. Guess what, Mike? Give it to the damn players. You're dressing out 70 people, ballpark on each side. I done the math. I don't have this thing. I'm not Rain Man here. I already got it wrote out. $35,714. I guarantee if you say, hey, you kids win. Whoever wins this game gets 40,000. Whoever loses this game gets 30,000. Guarantee we're going to have a more competitive ball game. Even these guys that are thinking about going to the NFL draft, this is the day we're starting to pay our players. Do it in the bowl games. You want to make this thing competitive? The Liberty Bowl is going to make more money if they know they got a competitive game. There's a theme in the SEC right now, and it has been for the last 5 years, that it doesn't really matter. Well, that's why people aren't there. That's why people aren't watching this game. You pay them, they will play, brother. I guarantee you put a little money on the line, these guys will show up and we'll have a competitive matchup.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never even thought of that. But hey, it's out there. It's legal now. I mean, this is just kind of the way college football is, and we're trying to make bowl games special again. I mean, what better incentive than getting paid here? And
Exactly.
I think, to your point, I mean, we're seeing, like the Pitt quarterback who was a Heisman finalist, Peyton Manning's best friend, apparently. He's not playing in his game. Imagine the rest of his teammates saying, "What the hell? We got
Exactly.
50 grand on the line. You better get your ass in the lineup." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There would be, maybe peer pressure is the wrong word, but you wouldn't want to not be there for your teammates who, there's probably tons of guys on your team that's life-changing money, at least at that
Absolutely.
age. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I love that idea, Shane. And yeah, because we just got to do something, man, because I'm not one of these guys out here apologizing for the SEC, saying, well, they just didn't care and the other team cared. I think that's
Yeah.
bullshit most of the time. There's exceptions to that, but I think SEC just not showing up, and this
Yeah.
is 2 games in a row, Shane, where the offense has struggled for Mississippi State. Going back to the Egg Bowl, they were not very good in that performance. I know it seems like an eternity ago, but that was the last game they played, and of course the defense that was missing so many guys getting just run on left and right by Texas Tech. My God, I didn't even know Texas Tech knew how to run the football. Yet they look like Alabama against this
Uh-huh.
Mississippi State defense. It was pathetic. And, I think the thing with Mississippi State this year, Shane, that so much attention to Will Rogers, and for good reason. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He put up insane numbers this year. But the thing that was different this year, aside from Will Rogers making those improvements, was the offensive line, Shane, was abysmal last season. This season, strength of the team, and they were out with gone 2 tackles. And I think that played a huge difference, particularly in the run game here for Mississippi State. Too much to overcome. And once they got down a little bit, once that adversity struck, I don't know. It just didn't seem like they had any answers. Mississippi State had more 3-and-outs than they had scoring drives in this game.
Yeah.
And when have you ever seen that from a Mike Leach offense? I mean, I don't know. This was just a god-awful game. I was just hoping we'd get a competitive game after 3 terrible SEC games to start the bowl season. Now we've got a 4th one, and I'm just sitting here shaking my head. And I jokingly said, I don't think SEC's going to win a bowl game. Now everybody's jumping on me.
Jeez.
What the hell? Tennessee's going to win. Arkansas's going to win. I'm not out here predicting. I'm just saying, hell, I thought Mississippi State was going to win too. You know what?
Yeah, man. I mean, 2-score favorites. So you would think that they would have. I mean, hell, Vegas was giving an edge, but it's just frustrating all the way around on this one. Like I said, it was missed opportunities, Mike. You know, when we finally got some momentum on defense, it was a 3-and-out on offense. When we finally were moving the chain, then all of a sudden it was the drops. And it just felt like, and Texas Tech, boy, they did some things right, but boy, they got lucky too. But it all boiled down to just momentum in this game, and Mississippi State just never could hold on to it. Every time they'd get a little bit of it, they'd find a way to give it back. So, like I said, this is a week 3 game. I guarantee Mississippi State would have won, but it is what it is, man. It's a loss in a bowl game, and I thought the narrative would be sweet. The Pirate getting beaten up on the Raiders. It wrote its own headline, but we just weren't able to do it. I felt like Rogers played his heart out, man. I think he played great out there, but it just wasn't a full team effort, man. And I think some of the younger class showing up, maybe that was part of the reason we had stupid penalties and whatnot. So I don't know. I just hate it because it's not a good start. Here we talk about how great the SEC is, and we're over right now. I mean, we still got 9 other opportunities, thank God, because everybody made a ball game besides Vanderbilt. But which, by the way, was my favorite tweet. Looks like Vandy's going to be the only one that doesn't lose a bowl game from that SEC Mike there. But so far, rough start. But I'm not bailing, man. I'm not bailing. I'm still all in. I still think there's a lot of SEC teams that are gonna show up. It's just unfortunate the first 4 didn't.
Yeah, without a doubt. And